Okay, we're back. Okay, welcome to the stream, everybody. This is gonna be interesting. Wait, we'll put the lights on. I have some topics here that you guys will enjoy. We'll look at the difference between GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 prompts, all right? But for now, a little, 2-minute warm up. Random Bleach fan, I enjoy that name. That's kind of funny. Welcome. All right. That's random, huh? We'll get right to it. Anybody new, we always just do a little musical warm-up because it takes a minute for people to come in, for me to settle in, for me to warm up with speaking. We're gonna do a YouTube style intro in a second here, and I'll tell you all about what this stream is about. But for now, take another minute, get a drink. Easy. Welcome everybody. Yeah, get some food, get a drink. I have iced coffee here. I also have some new sound effects lined up. Anyway. Yeah, music is louder than voice. Yeah. It's musical intro, whatever. Okay, I've almost got it. We'll begin in like 30 seconds here, right? I would like to kind of, do my market research here and just leave the country that you're coming from in chat. I always love to see the internationality up in here. It's unbelievable. For myself, I'm sitting in Slovakia, Europe right now. Just leave the country in the chat below and, see where all the fellow viewers are from. I always really enjoy seeing that. And then, let me give you a little preview. So I'll get right into the intro, and then, as you know, the recording will be cut off at the point where the intro begins. So this is kind of just warm up and blabber, but we're gonna be comparing like no official term for it, but I call it like GPT-4 prompts when they're like more specific and there's additional context and the results are better. So essentially what I would categorize as a GPT-4 prompt is, if you test them in both and the GPT result is not just better is such a weak word. It's really not specific enough, but where it really makes a difference, where the additional context really makes a difference in the results. So it's not just, adding target audience. It's really adding a layer to it that gets you better results in GPT-4. I think this is going to make more sense once we get into this, but that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be comparing the two, and we're going to be talking about like a base level prompt engineering for, beginners and intermediates. This is not going to be, some super advanced like persona modeling, or this is not going to be like in-depth business use cases. This is going to be rather like how the everyday person can put it to work today, and we're going to be talking through the lens of my new Notion template that I released. So, we're going to be talking about that briefly. And then also I want to take some time to answer questions all around the course, because there's many. And yeah, so that's basically kind of the outline for today. And yeah, with that being said, I think it's time to kind of officially begin here. So let me just open one more PDF so we can hop right into it and lose no more time. Let me see. There we go. Okay. This has been a busy week, you guys. Holy moly, we have the chat go. Oh my God. Oh my God. It happened. It happened. Check that out. This is unbelievable. Look, I love this internationality. I'm telling you, as someone who grew up in 2 countries and everything, this is incredible. Estonia, Boston, Germany, Poland, India, Atlanta, Georgia, England, Czech Republic, UK, Texas, Serbia, Washington, Brazil. Blaze BW is from Austria, my man. I'm born in Vienna, grew up in Graz, so yeah, very familiar with Austria. Sandhurst, interesting. Where's that? Cleveland, Ohio. AutoGPT, of course. Of course, I've seen AutoGPT. I've just been busy with other things. Sorry that I didn't create content. Okay, all right. Let's do this. Okay. So, but I have one more thing here. How about this?
Okay, let's go.
Oh, thanks, Simon. That's really appreciated. That's a new UK, Florida. Oh my God, you guys. All right. Let's get to this. Okay. You probably played around with GPT when it came out, and now GPT-4 has released, and a lot has changed. But what has changed? How should you adapt your prompts? Should you even bother improving them? That's what we're going to be discussing today in this live stream. And we're doing this live because we're going to be able to take questions and to share some of these insights directly with you. The lens that we'll be looking at, the discussion that is going to ensue here, is going to be through looking at the brand new ebook that I released and the Notion template that comes with that. It's completely free. You can get it by going to newsletter.myaiadvantage.com, and then you can either follow along or you can just watch the stream and see what's going on. Essentially, it's a Notion template with 200 prompts, 25 styles, and 25 follow-up prompts. Going to show you how to use those, how to put them to work. And then it's the same thing in PDF format. So you just get that for free for signing up for the free newsletter and giving me a shot at delivering you some value. You know, we have a weekly newsletter. So that's essentially it. So that's what we're going to be looking at. But as this book is really the second version of my first ebook, which had 100 prompts. And was really great already, especially for beginners, you know, just like a point as a first point of reference of diving into ChatGPT. It really delivered a lot of value to a lot of people. But the second one, it's just so much better. It's I would say it's more than twice as good. Really, the prompts are all changed up. The Notion template is now freely available with it. There's styles where you can pick different styles and get inspired on, you know, you can use authors, brand voices, etc. And then there's follow-up prompts, which will help you to go deeper and add more context. So we can talk about all that one by one. But first, let me switch to my desktop here. Let's see. I had a... Yeah, okay, there we go. This works. So this is the 2 versions that I've been talking about. Let me just add my camera on top. I had to switch around my setup here. This is beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so essentially this is the before and after, and this is how I want to look at it, because before it was fantastic, and you know it had 35 pages and everything, and now and now we're at a whooping 87 pages. So this is really the freebie that I'm giving to everybody, kind of the taste for my more premium content that I also offer. But essentially this is really for a lot of people. This is going to be all you need. You know, if you just want to poke around inside of ChatGPT for a weekend and you want to see what's up with this new thing and what can it do, what can't it do, this is the thing for you. If you want to start crafting, you know, more and exploring more and actually putting it to work, then I think you'll find more value in kind of the ebook format of this, which is essentially like around 3 times more content than this. And then I just released the course, which we can talk about later on. But that is really kind of my high end right now, where if you want to learn how to write prompts like this yourself, that's where you look towards the course. We can talk about all that step by step, but For now, you're from Slovakia. Joke, right? No, I'm sitting in Bratislava right now. Hovorím po slovensky. Whatever you want, man. So, anyway, okay, so we're gonna talk about these one by one, and not all. I just want to kind of give you an idea, and I really wanted to do this, and I really wanted to do this live to get your guys' thoughts, because what I did here, and I'm lucky enough at this point to have a small team helping me, and a lot of like AI enthusiasts that kind of tag along and help me in developing these things. Because let me tell you, going through 100 prompts and actually developing all them and improving them is no small task. And at this point, before we get into it, I would just like to give a shout out to my man Rastislav. You can find him. You can find him in the Discord. He's a philosopher from the Czech Republic, and he really helped me in upgrading some of these prompts. So we essentially went through it, and we talked about. We had a lot of discussions around what additional context we could layer on top, and he helped me with some of the prompt engineering here. So shout out to him. He's an enthusiastic member of the Discord community, so you can talk to him there and hit him up with your GPT-4 questions. Sorry, Rastio, for throwing that responsibility into your court. But yeah, so he helped me out here. And before we get started, one more thing, I need to answer one question that I've been getting like all the time now. This is the free ebook, right? This is available. You can go into the description. Most of you guys probably have this already. That's all great. There's a paid ebook, right? Which I sell on my website, which is essentially, and it sits in a weird spot right now. There's an update coming within the next week. I said by the end of April, I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be up to me to update that thing, to finish updating that thing. And I just slept 3 days in a row in the office to finish the course and everything. So, have a little bit of patience with me. But essentially, this is the free ebook. Then there's the paid ebook, which hasn't been updated yet, but you're gonna get the same Notion template. You're gonna get the same amazing Notion template that you might have already seen with the video. And you're gonna get also GPT-4 updated prompts, all of them inside of the ebook. So don't worry, just have a few more days of patience, and you're gonna get your promised update completely for free for all previous buyers. So with that being said, let's go through this step by step. The most minor thing is we have a new logo. Yay, this finally looks, the way I want it to look. But basically here in the beginning, not much changed, right? Like, if you look at the table of contents, you're going to see I added marketing and an entrepreneurship chapter. Very brief. It's just 3 prompts each to give you a little bit of inspiration. But for any, aspiring entrepreneurs, I think this delivers some stuff. Can you get ChatGPT to generate you a book? I think that's a good question. I want to answer that right now. So I think you absolutely can. I have a video showing you how to do it. But with a book like this, it's going to be all about battle testing it and just running the prompts tens or hundreds of times and exploring, like legitimately to come up with kind of the 1,000 prompts inside of the course. You just have to run tens of thousands of prompts and like the ones that you have in multiple variations, right? There's no way around that. So yes, you can have it help you, add some context, and you can use it to help you generate some examples, but it's not gonna, you can't write a book like this easily, So that would be my answer. If you have any further questions, check out the video. I talked about it extensively there. This is all trial and error and, my favorite use cases for beginners, essentially. Okay, so as you can see, you have these new chapters here. So for anybody that had the book before, it had 5 chapters: productivity, writing, social, health, entertainment. Again, all this is free. This is the last time I'll say this. Probably not, but all right. Then you have the same ones. I extended some of them. So for example, for health, I added one that I really like. It's one of my favorite prompts. You can actually create a meal plan. No. You can actually... Oh, wait, this one is double. Okay, there's a little mistake in the book I just saw. But yeah, it's actually snacking responsibly. It's really, this is one of the best. And this one I moved down from like the paid ebook to here, just because it's so incredible and I want everyone to have it. And if you click these, as per usual, it's just going to bring you right to the page. And you have more examples now. So this is really to get your creativity going. And I just love this because you can just add your flavor preferences. Like, for example, spicy or garlic. That's what I really like. And then dietary restrictions. For example, if you're gluten-free, if you're vegan, if you're, nut-free, dairy-free, this applies for me. You can just customize this. So I would, for example, say, can you suggest some healthy and tasty snack options that are, okay, this is not perfect, that are garlic and dairy-free friendly. And then it's just gonna give you some. And this is really fantastic because I love snacking. I love snacking healthily, and this just gives you ideas that you wouldn't even know. I'll give you another one from this same bucket of like health that isn't even in the book. And Daniel Pierce brought this to my. He's responsible for our Twitter now. Yeah, I'm kind of like just helping out there, but he does most of the posting. And he brought up this amazing prompt that, he told me his girlfriend was cooking and she discovered that you can use ChatGPT and be like, okay, I have eggs, I have rucola, I have, some ham, I have some tomatoes. What ingredients could I buy to make an, incredible but easy to make meal? And then from the ingredients, it just creates like custom food. And then you can ask it for like the step-by-step recipe. And it's just one of those use cases that, it's not gonna change your life, but it's a fantastic way to show somebody who hasn't experienced the power of ChatGPT before what it can do. It's like, okay, just open up the fridge, you just type in the ingredients, and you're like, okay, what could I cook with this that is beginner friendly? And it just does it. So I thought that was really cool. Okay, anyway, back to the table of contents. So I added a few prompts here and there. Almost all of them are better. That's what we're going to look at next. But essentially, you also get the marketing prompts. You get to read about how to launch products, identify niches, define brand voices. And then you get the entrepreneurship prompts, where it's all about evaluating business ideas, which I feel like is the most important one. That's why I included this. Then develop brand strategies, which is kind of step 2 once you have an idea. And then you can find side hustle. This one is really cool. You can find side hustles. And again, as you might already be aware of, all of this is available inside of this free Notion template that I provide now. All you need to do is sign up to the newsletter. You'll just get an email with a link to download both. And so we just talked about these prompts. So they're right here, the same thing. And the cool thing is if you click the database and you go to the gallery view, you can view all of them as such. And what do you guys make of this? Do you think this is useful? Or is this just like kind of I think I wouldn't even say it's a nice to have. It's a very nice to have. It's just cool. Like it's just especially, you can still use this interface, but when you open them up, when you like translate with context, it's actually gonna come with the win. What do you guys make of these images? I haven't got any feedback on that yet, but I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else do this. It was a ton of work, let me tell you, especially for the course. Like this template has over 1,000 prompts, and all of them have this set up. I should say that 1,000 prompts means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prompts right here. Okay, so it's not like 1,000 of these. It's more like 150 of these, where as of right now you have like 30, right? So that's what I mean when I say 1,000 prompts. It's like one prompt is always like an example. That's how I would say that. Yeah. Anyway, very dope. Okay, at least one piece of feedback. Nice. The 4 days of work, the 5 days of work that went into it were worth it. Nice. We got one comment. Okay, good. So I think this is just cool. But either way, this is the Notion template, and now let's get to the meat of this. Now let's get to the part where we start talking about the differences here. Okay, so you have to find side hustles prompt that is new. There's a few new prompts, something there for everybody. But the real change here, it doesn't hide within the 8 new prompts. It doesn't hide within the Notion template, although that is my favorite thing that I've shipped since a while, except of the course. Yeah, and also I have to say, Hero Dent here in the chat, he has been helping me with generating these images. So yeah, shout out to him. He helps in the server. Very a great guy. It was super easy to work with him, and yeah, just shout out to him. Thanks for helping me out with that. I kind of set up like the way that we're gonna do it and the prompt and the formula for everything, and then he went through and he used his visual taste to generate hundreds of images. And then there's also ones for the different chapters in the course. Those are cool too. Anyway, I just really got into like my journey image generation lately, I suppose. But again, back on topic. I go on these tangents and I apologize, but hey, it's a live stream and I can do what I want. I hope you guys still enjoy it. Does this cost money? No, this is free. Where do you get it? You can go to, I'll post the newsletter. You just go to newsletter.myaiadvantage.com. You enter your email and you'll get an email with a welcome. You'll get a welcome email immediately, which is a link that brings you to a page where you can download both the PDF and the Notion with one click. So essentially all I'm asking is like, I put in all this work and all I'm asking is, give me a chance to provide more value to you through the email list. That's literally it. It's completely free. You just enter your email. If you don't like it, you can legitimately unsubscribe right away. Just get your files, be on your way. No pressure. Feel free to do whatever you want. I'm just going to do my best to deliver value to you through the inbox. I have to say this for anybody subscribing. This week, there's going to be more emails than usual. Usually it's like one email per week and I don't do any sales, nothing. But now that I launched the course yesterday, we have a course launch sequence where we talk about different aspects of it. And you're going to get like 4 mails. And then all the ebook buyers are also going to receive a mail once the update is out in like less than a week. So yeah, I really do my very best not to spam. Because I hate it so much and I unsubscribe to anything that I consider spam. I try to be, concise and value packed. But you guys probably all know that by now. Anyway, so, okay, here's the explainer. And maybe this is the last thing I'm going to go through before we go ahead and compare some of the prompts here. What changed, because I think that's the important part. What changed? Because by talking about what changed, we're going to learn about what to change in your prompts, Why did I make the changes? Why do I call this a GPT-4 upgrade? There's reasons for that. And maybe in this longer format of a live stream, we get to discuss that in more detail as opposed to, hey, what's up? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's go.
All the hyped YouTube videos. Like this is a little bit more, let's get deep into it. Yeah, Remy, thanks. Good to see you here, man. Remy, the one boss of a mod inside of the Discord server. Just, yeah, I follow him and leave a like if you enjoy this. Either way, so last stop before we compare prompts. The explainer, very simple. As you might already know, the prompt is just like my personal favorite use case from all the prompts. Then you have a bunch of examples below to kind of get your imagination going, what is possible. And the formula, this is really like where a lot of where in my opinion, most of the value hides, because this is what's gonna help you understand how these actually work. And if all you want is a quick win, you just copy paste the prompt, boom, send it, you're on your way. Fantastic, works, value delivered. But if you're looking to go deeper and if you're looking to understand how these are structured, if you're looking to customize them to your own needs, for anybody using them for business use cases, the formula is absolutely essential because you're going to want to customize it to your target audience, to your context, to your company name, all that. That's going to be understandable through the formula. And then here's the 2 new things. This you might have known already from my older content and the old free ebook. But another dance stream, we can do that sometimes. Yeah, that was really fun. So this is forum where people can share ideas and grow together. All this is new and we are all learning something which can be valuable to all of us. I agree. So the YouTube chat right now and otherwise the Discord server, you can just hop in there, ask your questions, meet some people. Mod check 1, 2. I like that. Okay. All right. So the 2 new things here. The last 2 new things is follow-up prompts. As you can see, this is my attempt at showing you how to add more context to ChatGPT and how to strategically continue your conversation to get results that are really specific to what you need. Because a lot of these are going to be like, all right, generate me, 10 ideas for my company, let's say, my YouTube channel, and it's going to do it, and that's great. But then only by following up will you kind of, I like to say, tickle out those juicy results, the gems, really. Because if you follow up, because if it gives you ideas and then you're like, give me 10 more. That's the simplest example, right? Give me 10 more. You kind of get more variety. And if you maybe follow up with, why did you come up with those ideas? It's gonna go a layer of abstraction above, and it's gonna give you its thoughts behind the ideas, So it's really within the follow-up prompts where a lot of the nuanced results hide. And my feeling is that if a lot of beginners were familiar with follow-up prompts, they would have a higher opinion of ChatGPT. Because a lot of them are like, whatever, it can do recipes, that's cool, but like, it's not that valuable. But, once you start getting into advanced context, then, you really get amazing results from it. So anyway, let's see. Why would I ignore you, Sky DK? I mean, just because of the rude way you talk, maybe. But look, this is not about writing the most complicated prompts in the world, and this is not a competition. This is about helping people and showing them a variety and the thinking behind it, right? So it's not a competition out here who writes the best prompts. I think you kind of misunderstood the point of this. Yeah, just be friendly. That's all I would say. All right, so about styles. Styles, just, style your text. And look, this document is really geared towards people that are newcomers or like maybe advanced beginners, right? This is not like high-end stuff. But I do want to show you my thinking here. And we're going to do that by looking at the very first prompt inside of the productivity chapter. All right. So, yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna mute him. Yeah, he's just spamming at this point. Okay, all right, let's get to it. So the main part of the content. So okay, generate ideas, ladies and gentlemen. So what changed here? Okay, as you can see, a lot changed here, right? Before, and maybe we're gonna make this a little larger just because we can. How about that? I like that. Nice. We cleaned house within the chat. There you go. That easy. All right. So what changed? This was the version before, right? This is what I would call, a GPT-3 prompt. The thing is, would this one perform better in GPT-3? Yes. But is this like kind of a new chapter? And is it just an easy way to communicate the fact that it's just better, just like GPT-4 is better than GPT 3.5? And do these work better in GPT-4 than they do in GPT 3.5? That also yes to all of that. So that's why I call this GPT-4 prompts. You can call that a marketing angle, but I think it makes sense on so many levels that I'll just go with that wording. And let's see. So what is better about this version? Well, first of all, if you look at this formula, you're going to see there's 3 variables, right? So, and the amount of variables, roughly estimates the amount of context that you're providing here, right? And as you know, it's all about context, because there's always an instruction within your prompt, write this, do that, give me ideas. That's the instruction part. And then there's the context part. And that is such a wide umbrella term. And this is also what I start out with. And it's going to be so fun to teach some of these concepts, because I kind of did all the mental housekeeping and sorting of all my thoughts, because I had to for the course, right? To like record the different modules and for it to all to make sense. So I can like bring these concepts to you, which I kind of just realized right now. I love that kind of. So here's the construct that I present in the course. It's kind of like you have instructions and you have context, right? If you really break it down, this is like one of the first videos. If you really break it down, that's all a prompt is, right? It's do something and then how do you do it, right? So like, what do you do and how do you do it? Okay, so what is the instructions in here? Can you give me ideas? There you go. That's the instructions, right? You could also say, give me ideas, or please give me ideas. All the same thing. No fluff, no extra words, super concise. Give me ideas. That's the instruction part, right? So can you provide ideas? So that's essentially the same thing, but here the word provide is actually less ambiguous than give. And this brings me to my first point. We really want to avoid ambiguity when it comes to this prompt. All of this is covered in the course also. But I think these basic, these things that are easily communicated in 2 sentences, I'm just going to be throwing around here on the YouTube anyway and giving to you. Because really, you want to avoid ambiguity at all costs. ChatGPT is really, really bad. One of the worst things is processing 2 things at once. This is not confirmed. This is just my theory, but I think that's also the reason why it's so bad at math. Because in math, often a few of these operations happen simultaneously. And if you look at math in GPT 3.5 as opposed to 4, like a basic thing like 7 times 12, you're going to see that GPT-4 actually first goes ahead and kind of prompts itself to outline the steps, So it's like, oh yeah, first we need to, multiply this with that. And in more complex operations, it does that. It kind of outlines the steps and then it does the math step by steps. GPT 3.5, it kind of just goes ahead and tries to do everything at once and fails and gives you a wrong output confidently. Okay. So the first thing is ambiguity. You want to avoid ambiguity, right? At a very base level. So here we improved it. Give is not bad, but provide is just a little more clear. And how do you know that? Well, first thing, you're going to test it. Second thing, you can actually run a prompt that asks for the ambiguity within your wording, and you're going to find provide is just a more specific term than this. For this reason, also academic language is excellent within prompt engineering because, if I were to use like all of these big words here while we're just casually conversing, it would seem unnecessary and over the top, and maybe it would seem like I'm bragging or something, right? But if you do it in the context of ChatGPT, it loves it as long as it knows the word, and it mostly does. Because you're being extremely specific with what you're trying to express, right? It's right there. Because academic language really expresses very, very narrow. It means a lot of those big words mean one thing within a very narrow context. It's like, from if you go, I just have to come up with an example now, but if you go to the finance sector and, you talk about, EBITDA, for example, that's a, maybe that's not academic language, but that's a very specific term that means one thing and one thing only. It's a accounting term. But if you use that, ChatGPT is gonna love it. If you use something like give, that is a little, give. Let's just think about this like a human. Like what does give mean? Like it means I could be giving you prompts, but I could also be, giving you my time. I could also be giving you, my attention. I could be also giving you a gift. But then you could also, there's many definitions to that. But if you're like providing something, it's more specific because giving is really, it's hard to define, man, these semantics here. But providing is like giving something of value, giving something that is of value to you. I think that we could look at the definitions here. We're going to actually do that. I think that's a good idea. But providing is more like it's of value to me, and now I'm providing it for you. So, when a parent is providing for the children, if you think about it, it's like they're giving up a piece of themselves to help the children. If you're giving something, it's like, yeah, sure, just take this paper. I don't need it anyway. You wouldn't say, sure, I'm providing this paper. You wouldn't say that. Providing is more valuable. So that's why this is better. That's why it's better. So that's my best attempt at, I don't think we need a definition. I'm actually quite happy with how we defined that. Greg Smith had a question here. How was he spamming? He was copying the same message over and over again, and it had a rude tone to it. I answered to kind of the question there, and he just kept going. That's how. Okay. This PDF, you can get it. Newsletter.myaiadvantage.com. Just fill out your email. You're going to get an email where you can download the PDF and the Notion template that comes with it for free. All right. So now let's move on. So now we talked about ambiguity. This is the first part that you need to watch out for. Okay. Avoid ambiguous words and whenever you can be more specific. And is this going to be night and day? No. But if you're going to run this on 100 examples, it's just going to give you better results. And that's what this comes down to. Repeatability, reliability. That's what you want from your prompts. And by the way, I'll say this. I also think that natural language interfaces are going to be the main way of prompting AI for a long time to come until we get like neural links and such. And while things like AutoGPT and graphical user interfaces are definitely going to swoop in, and with things like, Microsoft introducing the Copilot into their documents, we're definitely going to see more user-friendly approaches than custom prompting like this. But just like there's no-code website builders, there's also the deep end of the pool where you can go ahead and customize your website and do your own HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever. Like, this is, at first, when I came in, I was like, ooh, prompting, right? And then I was like, oh, but it's going to be replaced by these user-friendly interfaces. And this is kind of a phase that's going to like last for a few more months or maybe a year. And then I realized, wait a minute, but this is always going to be kind of the custom solution. This is always going to be the back end of the user-friendly interfaces. And if you want the advanced solutions, you do need to get good at this. So yeah, it was kind of, I think that's my current view on it. Right now, we don't have those user-friendly ways yet fully built out. So it's super relevant if you want results now and in the coming weeks and months. But I think from like a 2-year perspective, you're still going to be able to prompt the AI manually, right? It's going to be something that is reserved to, probably the people watching this channel, like you and me and everything, because we are the people that are in deep and that are ready to get into the custom solutions. We are ready to explore this, and explore this we shall. Let's move on. So we talked about ambiguity here, right? Let's next up talk about the different variables in here, okay? So it's kind of how to learn academic language. You don't have to learn it. Just think about if there's synonyms. So for example, a tip would be if you're looking for a word and you're like, you have a feeling that there might be a more specific term for that, or that it has a critical part, it's a critical part of your prompt, go ahead and look for synonyms. And if there's like an academic term that expresses exactly that thing, just don't shy away from it. That would be my recommendation. All right, so next up, we have, can you provide number ideas? So for example, this is just like so simple. We just added a number counter here. So, now it's not like, can you give me ideas, but can you give me 5 ideas, 3 ideas? That's like the most basic building block that you can introduce. And this is what I really call them also here and in the course, and from here on out, I'm just going to call these building blocks, because it's really like Legos, right? If you build your own like Lego house, you're going to be sitting there and, taking one apart and building another one. That's how you can think about these formulas, So you can take this number variable and slap this into pretty much, most of these, Can you provide number suggestions for how I can improve, You can just slap this into anywhere. It doesn't work with every single one, but generally speaking. Okay. And then for a format about subject, and this is where it gets tricky, if you just saw format, it's like, what format, what? But then you look up here and you're like, about public speaking for, okay, ideas, no, here. For, this is format, workshop. So the format is a workshop. But then, okay, what other formats exist, right? Maybe, you're not the creative type, or maybe you are the creative type, but you don't want to use that mental energy. Well, you're in luck, because these examples show to you series, webinar, podcast. These are different formats. With here, YouTube series, newsletter. This down here is really to get your imagination going. And then it's way easier to generate like 3 more examples off the top of your head once you see a bunch of these, right? So, all right. So that's that. About subject for target audience, focusing on topics. All right, same thing, like topics. What kind of topics? Well, this one is a little easier to derive than format, right? But you have a bunch of examples. So renewable energy with an emphasis on actionable tips is the additional context. So there's different ways to express this. And if you look at this, the additional context really varies. This is like the widest term in here, right? Additional context could be emphasis on actionable tips. And this just shows you different ways to approach that. So it could also be a focus on maintaining balance during academic stress. It could also be budget-friendly meal planning with step-by-step instructions. It's just whatever you want to tack on, and here's some examples of that. So why is this prompt better than this one? Well, as we explored, first of all, the ambiguity has been lowered, with like the change of give to provide. Then secondly, we added a number counter, so you can, customize it a little more. That's really no big deal. But then if you go further, format is great, subject is great. But then here, all of a sudden, we're specifying a target audience. And guess what? I didn't just randomly include this, like, oh, whatever, let's just slap on target audience into anything. No, if you're generating ideas, if you think about it at a high level and you abstract up, what are ideas good for? Not like, I'm not asking what ideas are. I'm asking, what are they good for? Well, that's kind of a philosophical question, right? But if you really break it down, ideas are there to improve something, maybe, could be one approach. Or ideas are just something that hasn't occurred to you yet. That's just a completely different angle to it. And what do most of those definitions, you could come up with probably like 100 more, right? But these are just like my first 2 takes off the top of my head. But what do all those have in common? Like the idea is going to potentially affect the world, right? And what is the world we live in? Well, it's mostly people, right? And if it's mostly people, we need to talk about what kind of people. So that was my thinking behind this, right? I didn't just randomly slap together like multiple, like added multiple types of context. Um, that was kind of funny. I didn't just randomly slap this together. It's like in relation to ideas, you really want to talk about what people the ideas are going to be affecting in order to get better ideas. Because otherwise, you're kind of just leaving that open. If you're just saying, if I just told you, give me 10 ideas, and you know, if we were strangers on the street and I would just walk up to you and be like, give me 10 ideas, it would be like, what ideas? One of the things that's going to help you answer that question is specifying the target audience. So that's another way to think about that. All right, so I hope that was helpful. And obviously covering topics. Another thing is, you know, you can see focusing on is different than covering. Again, focusing on is just better wording. It's more specific. Absolutely fantastic improvement to this particular idea generation prompt. And what are the results like, right? Let's see. Let's compare the results because they're, yeah, maybe first. And you know what? I'm actually so confident in this that I'm just gonna lie. I should have spent some time before and you know tested this use case, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it live. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here we are, and we're just gonna go ahead and first run the simple version. So, you know, maybe a format. Well, now that I think about it, actually running this it's not even fair. It's not even fair because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we don't even have to run it to prove this point. Because let's say our idea is, you know, whatever, we're generating ideas in my context and we're looking for, you know, YouTube video ideas about AI, let's say, okay? Perhaps covering, you know, GPT-4, maybe we could say, right? But if you go ahead here and I'm gonna tell it, it's a 10-minute, you know, it's a 10-minute YouTube video tutorial, and I specify the target audience to be 30-year-old American males. That is kind of the main that is kind of the main demo within my YouTube analytics. But hey, it's super diverse. Shout out to all the Indians out there. Love you guys having you. You guys are super curious. And there's also a lot of UK people. So, you know, but just as an example, we're going to say, you know, US males, 25 to 35 years old, focusing on, and then I'm going to give it some subtopics. It's not even fair, man. It's not even fair. So with additional context, we just kind of like, it's not even a competition. It's kind of like a lightweight MMA fighter just like walking into the cage for the first time and going up against like a heavyweight champion. Like, it's not even fair. Just by specifying all of this additional context, you're gonna get results that are more relevant to you and that you're gonna be happy with. And at the end of the day, all of this being said, let me say one thing. What is a good prompt? What is a good prompt? That's the most basic questions. That's the most basic question. Like, what makes a good prompt? Well, there's a million definitions, but honestly, I say this within the course too, and I stand by this, and I'm this is gonna be my, I swear to God, the course helped me explore so many like of these topics in depth. I love it. Just for now, I have the ability to communicate this even better. A good prompt is one that gets you a result that you're happy with. That's gonna be the definition. That's it. That's it, right? If you're happy with the result, that was a good prompt. And guess what? By being more specific on the target audience, the topics, and adding context, you're gonna get a better result. So is this a better prompt than this? Yes, 10 out of 10 times. One that gets your desired results. Exactly, Natron. Exactly. Yeah, satisfactory results. That's it, you know? And then it all depends. Okay, what are you looking for, you know? Maybe if you're a marketing manager for a Fortune 500 company, you're going to have very high demands in terms of, okay, I want a marketing plan in this exact formatting, and I want to cover this like multi-channel strategy, and I want like exact like tables of different influencers that we're going to engage, and you're going to have very specific demands. And if you're going to run, you know, just create me a campaign for my, you know, for Coca-Cola, a marketing campaign for Coca-Cola, the result is not going to satisfy you because you have those requirements, right? That means that's not a good prompt for you. Doesn't mean that's a bad prompt for somebody who's never done marketing, you know? Doesn't mean this is a bad prompt for generating ideas just because there's more ways to do it. It's all about working backwards from what you need. And arriving at what you need is really a bit of an iterative process. And that's why I included these follow-up prompts here in the end, because we could go through and we could talk about more of these. You know, there's differences and there's, as you can see, like all of these have a bunch of variables now. But I think really by showing you one, it kind of shows you most of them. So if you have any questions, I'm going to look into chat a little more from now on. But essentially what I wanted to cover, another thing, is these follow-up prompts here in the end, because really this is gonna, if you watch the video, I explain how to use them in the context of the Notion template. It's the same thing here in the PDF. For the person that asked, I'm just gonna post the link to where you can get this. There you go, it's in chat. So you just go there, you sign up with your email, you get a mail with everything. But yeah, is this for a YouTube channel? Don't forget. Yeah, don't forget to tell it about your YouTube channel. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and a lot of time it's going to involve some thinking, right? What is the additional context that could be good? You could always follow up. You know, this is one that isn't in here, but that is good. But you could ask, what additional context could I provide? You know, and then you provide it. But essentially, follow-up prompts are a way to continue the conversation. So if you start with, you know, generate me 10 ideas, yada, 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 then you could go ahead and follow up with, could you elaborate on how the last response you provided doesn't align with my previous instructions? After clarifying that, please make another attempt at following the instructions I gave earlier. So this would be one that kind of like resets it and tells it to, you know, try again. I wasn't happy. This is a different way. This is a more specific way of saying, try again. I wasn't happy with what you gave me. And there's just different variations of this, right? So you can clarify what you mean by concept. And maybe if it gives you an idea on, you know, like AI used for, I don't know, I'm coming up with all this on the spot. This is my notes here. You know, if you're coming up with like results for, you know, AI for transistors or whatever. That's a terrible example. Then you could be like, can you clarify what you mean by transistors, you know? Okay, that's kind of clear, but I think you get the point. You can kind of just dig deeper on a specific aspect of what it told you. And the cool thing about this and why this is a follow-up prompt is because it's going to have the context of your conversation above. So in this terrible example of ours, if it recommends like ideas around, let's say AI for transistor manufacturing, you know, then you could go ahead and say, can you clarify what you mean by transistor manufacturing? And it's going to go in depth and it's going to explain that. But the cool thing is, because this is a follow-up prompt and not an initial prompt, it's going to explain the concept of transistor manufacturing within the context of you asking for YouTube video ideas first, right? And that's important. It's not just going to talk about transistor manufacturing. It's going to talk about it from an angle that is relevant to you as a YouTuber, let's say. So that's really cool. So I hope you learned something there. You left a little probe question. I don't know. I thought like just transistors aren't like, I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing it here. Okay, fine, works. So there's more of these here. So these universal ones here, you can always see the category kind of. And these universal ones are applicable to anything. So you can always go ahead and say 10 more, right? And you could always go ahead and say, but why? But why? But why? You know, give me 10 ideas, but why? Give me a marketing plan, but why? Write me an essay, and then, but why? It's like a little kid inquiring over and over again. And at some point, it's just gonna, you know, you just gotta explore yourself what happens if you run this often enough. But yeah, it's essentially, this is a super simple one, but a non-obvious one, and I find it useful. So really, I gave you these to kind of continue the conversation. And then you have transformation prompts, which are going to allow you to kind of, as the name implies, they're going to allow you to transform your text. So you can rewrite in a certain style, or you can try again, but consider, you know, a new piece of context that you might want to add. And then you can say, now transform all the information into a text type. All right. So, and what is a text type? Well, you know, an essay is a text type, an email is a text type. I'm going to talk, well, maybe I can just mention it. In the course, I'm providing a list of 60 text types. So there you can just go in and you can look at, it's kind of my 60 favorite ones. Yeah, so you can, you can check it out in there. A good one, I'll give you a good one. A good one is instruction, is it an instruction manual? Instructional manual? I think instructional manual. That's a really good one. No, that technical manual. That's it. If you say transform it into a technical manual, it's going to transform it into this format where it looks like a manual for a TV or like a coffee machine, where it really goes step by step into every single detail of the process you might want to outline. That one, by the way, is a fantastic way of generating standard operating procedures for all of you business people out there. You can transform something into a technical manual and then provide that to your employees, and every single detail of that process is going to be outlined for you. Super powerful thing that I just gave away right there. So take note. Yeah. This display the above results in a table. Remy, spot on. So that's fantastic too. You could follow up. And the way, okay, so now we had a new prompt from chat here, right? What do you do about that? Well, if you have the Notion template, right, then you're in here, you got this thing, and maybe you just got set up with Notion, never used it before. Like, how the hell does this even work? You just kind of you press the button up here, it duplicated into your private prompts, into your private pages. So what do we do about the fact that we just got a new prompt from Remy here? Well, there's two options. First of all, you can just go in here and add a new follow-up prompt, right? This is one option. So just give it a second to load. And then I go down here and I'm like, transform the above text into a table. Thanks, Remy. Perfect. So, you could do that, and then you can give it a category, it would be transform, and you could give it a title. So that's one option. And the second option, which is even easier, if you have no time on your hands, you just kind of want to like drag and drop it in there. I'm going to do it slow and I'm going to do it fast. Okay. So you go down here, personal prompt database. Boom. It brings you down here. Then you're going to open this up. You can leave this opened. And if you click new, you're just going to post it in here, right? You can, generate a bunch more of these new lines, and then you can favorite it. We're just going to leave it in your favorites. And here's my pro tip. So I would totally take these favorites and drag it to the top right here. And then anytime you come in here, you're just going to have your favorite prompts right there. So you just open up the template. Boom. It's right there, Copy, paste, ChatGPT, done. So how would it look if we had this prompt and let's say we copied this from like a Twitter thread and we were like, oh, that's a really good one. I want to use this. Let's even say favorites are closed and let's bring them back down. How would that look without optimizing this for speed? Because if I really wanted to optimize that, I would open this up and I would bring it to the top of the page, right? It would be a little cluttered, but it would make it even faster. Okay, so let me see. I hands up and let's count together, okay? Wait, let's see. Yeah. Ooh, $50. That's a really $50. First of all, good name. That's a really good one that I haven't encountered before. Everyone reading, what you have to tell me has a short attention span. Make it shorter and make it rhyme. That's a cool one. That's a really fun one. But why continue? Yes. Slightly different. Yeah, that's great prompts in the chat there, guys. Read the chat too. Super valuable stuff in here. I love it. Okay, so again, I copied, let's say I'm on Twitter here, and I like copied the prompt. Like, let's just say you have Notion open in the background because it takes up like literally like 0 computer resources and I just have it open 24/7. So, let's even say it's closed. Okay, maybe not closed, maybe down here. That makes it even faster. But like how long does it take? Okay, let's try this, okay? Like how long is the time for me like hitting Command C all the way to having it in the database, okay? 3, 2, 1. What was that, like 5 seconds? Was it 6? Was it 4? I kind of hesitated there for a second. If it opened up at the top of the page, it would be 1 click extra. My point is, it couldn't be any faster. It could not be any faster. And that's what I love about this so much. It's just like, it's just ease of use. All you have to learn is like, toggle open, toggle close. And then you can open these libraries and you have different views up here. That's it. You can check out the newest video on the channel for a full tour of the template. But I think it's just so cool. This is just such a cool way of interacting with it. There you go, for free, to you. I'll have to get a good night of sleep soon though, because this is getting out of hand. But hey, the value delivery here, unmatched. I'm doing my best here. So you have this, you have the PDF. We looked at the differences. What else is there? Well, is there any questions, first of all? Let me ask, is there any questions? But why? I love that little probe question. Yes, it's a very effective, that why has such a, it's such an important word in the English language that it kind of, it brings a lot to the table. How to make a viral video. Step 1, be a cat. I like that. That's actually really funny. Yeah, that's true. I should be a cat. Anyway, so if you guys don't have any questions, maybe I'll go deeper. Like, okay, I want to go a step further. So this is like what I provide for free, right? What else is there? Well, there's the paid ebook, which is essentially going to be around 3 times the content in here. So what the deal for that is going to be, this is kind of an overview of everything that I offer, right? But it's just going to be, upgrade to what you received before in every way. That's what the paid ebook is going to receive now. Okay, so essentially you're going to get the 5 chapters: productivity, writing, social health, and entertainment, just like before. All of the prompts in there are going to be improved. Let me show you concretely which ones. Well, almost all of the prompts. There you go. This is kind of a table that this is not needed here. This is a table that shows you which ebook prompts are updated. So as you can see, like almost all of the first ones. Translate with context. I kept this simple just because it's so good already. And as you can see, I'm already working on the Notion here. And then down here in the writing chapter, I kept a few the way they were. But all of these yeses means it's a new and improved prompt, okay? And not just that, you also get the Notion template, and you also get more examples with it. So yeah, that is essentially a lot of the entertainment ones I kept the same way, just because they're like funny and quick and easy to use. And if you give more context, that I don't think the point of this is making them super specific. I think the point is a quick win, a quick joke, and that's why I kept them this simple. Do you recommend some or have good prompts of Stable Diffusion or Midjourney? Yeah, I actually have a video where there's a similar free product like this. It's a database with like 100 different very specific prompts. And it's like a 10-minute video where I walk you through it briefly and show you the different things that are possible. You can check that video out if you care about prompts for the AI art generator. Yeah, with Zapier, you can set up a Chrome extension to push the prompt to the database. Exactly. So this is like a fully functional database. This is not a notepad. So we're going to be extending this over time and working with this more. But essentially, okay, so this is what's going to happen with the ebook, right? It's the same prompts. They've all been upgraded. They have more examples. I added, I improved some of the intro chapters, and you're getting a free Notion template with it too. And it's essentially 3 times more content than you get with the free ebook. That's the value proposition there. That's my ebook right now. Okay, but then let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ooh, Igor did a course. Now he wants us to buy his course. Well, that's not entirely true. What I would say is, I really wanted to get a thing out there that kind of communicates every single aspect of my ChatGPT knowledge at this point in time, okay? And as you can see, there's a bunch, and there's a lot like hiding, like, kind of underneath the surface, things that we don't have time to go over in an hour. Matter of fact, the entire course is 32 videos, and I don't have the duration memorized, but I think it's somewhere around, I think it's 4 hours approximately. Don't quote me on that. I have to look into that. But essentially, all of that is like edited down videos, right? This is kind of a little loosey-goosey. We're going into questions. I'm going on tangents. There it's like laser focus, topic by topic, just the entire kind of like university course or like university curriculum that is structured to get you from like complete beginner, that's like the first chapter, to being able to write, content like this yourself. And I just wanted a place where all that is put together and, packaged appropriately. and also produced appropriately. So that's the course. It's my very best attempt at teaching somebody who's a complete newcomer and getting him to a point where he can start writing a book like this himself, because he really understands how to dissect these prompts, how to extend them, how to start with a one-liner and end up with like a sequence. He really understands how to use all the tools, and also there's an advanced techniques chapter, which I'm going to be extending over the course of this entire year. So my promise to you is I'm going to keep updating the course, just like I'm updating the free content, just like I'm updating the ebook. This is version free right now, right? The first one came out in December. Here we are, 5 months later. I'm delivering you version free for free. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with the course. So that's kind of my entire value proposition. So if I have people that have something very specific that they want to share with the community, I'm going to share it with the course members first. There's a Discord community. You get this prompt template, and everything else you can find under aiadvantagecourse.com. So yeah, that's kind of, is GPT-4 worth it? I've been avoiding it. I would say if you want to use it for your professional career, or you kind of get value out of it in terms of it helping you actually achieve something in your life, not just, maybe for cooking. If you just want to look to experiment with cooking, it's probably not worth it. But if you want to use it for work and you use it for work, what I always say is if you use it for more than twice a week for work, I would consider it worth it, because it's just better across the board. And for example, in the course, there's I believe it's 12-minute video that discusses all the nuances and all the nuance differences between 3.5 and 4, right? That's something I haven't done yet. That's something that took a lot of research. That's all the things that I learned from updating this ebook are communicated in there. And everything else, all the other content, is also derived from me just like going ahead and going through every single one of these prompts and running them from multiple like OpenAI accounts at the same time, because there's limitations on GPT-4, and just battle testing everything, right? And everything that I learned along the way is now in one place. And if somebody asks me, Igor, how can I start using this for my career, I would say the course is for you. If you're just like, hey, I want to just mess around and I want to write raps and have a good time, like, hey, here's the free content, please take it, have a good time. But if you're like, okay, how am I actually gonna, put this to work and actually gain a skill set and not just a database of things that I can copy paste, now I finally have the course. And let me tell you, it ate up my life over the last, well, really 2.5 months. But last 3 nights in a row, I slept in the office, and I don't want to like make this into some sort of, like I hustle so hard, whatever celebration or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I didn't cut a single corner on that course. I made it. It's the very best thing I probably ever produced. I mean, I'm 29, so there's more to come, but I'm super proud of it. It communicates everything I know about this topic right now, and yeah, I just like stand fully behind it. Is there any questions? I would love to answer questions around it, because I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. It's not cheap, and I released it yesterday night, and yeah, it's all up there. So now I'm just gonna, I want to update one of the videos, redo them, and then I'm gonna start adding other videos to the course. There's kind of like 4 videos that I have my sights on that I want to develop within like the next 2 to 3 weeks for the course. Those are going to be added, but otherwise it's a full-fledged, like kind of 0 to intermediate prompt engineer. And for all you advanced folks out there, I would say this, like, guys, I think I myself, I would say, how do I put this? I talk to a lot of like hyper advanced prompt engineers, right? They kind of, at this point, some of them like kind of like seek me out because they want to share with my community. And what I find a lot of the times is they're extremely like advanced and have their use cases and have their prompts and everything. But even a lot of them kind of lack the basics, right? They lack the fact when you're like, okay, so what does a prompt really compose down to? Like, a lot of them are not going to be able to express that in terms of like formulas or building blocks. They're not going to be able to. A lot of them are. Don't get me wrong, but some of them are not going to be able to tell. It comes down to instructions and context, and then like what type of context, and then like, okay, here's the most used types of context. Like, here's six ways to express context if you're just getting started. Here's 10 more advanced ways to express context. They're not going to be able to break it down into how a university professor would be presenting it, right? And I think the cool thing about the course is it really takes you by the hand, and it just goes step by step by step by step and all of a sudden the steps are like, holy shit, like oh my god, this was like a lot, like a 16-minute video on prompt quality that goes super in depth, like you watch that and then you go take a break. I would recommend, because there's a lot there. But what I'm trying to say is that even for you advanced folks out there that, might be doing, persona modeling or using the auto GPT on a daily basis, or you're playing with prompt injections, or you're designing everything inside of Playground. Is that covered in the course? Well, some of it, but that's not the focus. The focus is taking a step back. All we do, like 99% of the course, is inside of the ChatGPT interface, or just me talking theory, just the web interface. And all we're talking is really like, how do you approach this from like ground zero? And how do you get to a level where you're so confident in your skills that somebody could wake you up at 4 a.m. and you kind of have a mental framework of how to go about it, Because if you just I gave you the beginning there, like if you really start out with like instructions and context, and then you have like 5 ways to extend the context, and then you have like 15 more ways to extend those pieces of context, then you can arrive at these prompts like reliably, right? And then if you know that, okay, we can use like creative styling in these 5 different ways. And I know I have Igor's database with like 120 different styles that I can choose from. And then we can reformat into different text types. And I know I have Igor's database with like 60 text types. Then all of a sudden, you're going to be able to go from the ground up and get to productive results that go beyond anything you will ever get inside of even the best Twitter thread or YouTube video. Because you're going to learn fishing. It's not just going to be, I'm not just giving you fish. This is giving you fish. Take all the fish, you guys. It's free. You download the book. But this is really about how to fish. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. That was my little rant, but I don't know. I'm just super proud of the thing. I can't wait to hear some feedback on it. And yeah, it's just gonna take some time for people to go for it, because there's a lot to unpack there. And it hasn't been even out for 24 hours. So yeah, just super. Everything has fundamentals, exactly. And this is really about like, and you know what they say about professionals? They're just beginners that are super solid on their fundamentals, or something like that. Did I butcher that quote? Essentially, like all professionals, like real pros, they just have like rock solid foundations, and they do the basics correctly every single time. And beginners might know about the basics, but they don't do them correctly. And it's really designed to help you with that. So, okay, let's look at some questions here. Yeah, multiple accounts to get more GPT-4 usage. I'll give you some tips here. This is actually from, okay, I guess like everything, all the new stuff that I'll be communicating. I'll just stop saying that, because like I'm starting to feel a little salesy, and I hate that. This is also from within the course, though. I found a trick to get around the 25 message limitation. It's kind of a hack, and it's kind of cheesy, but I want to share it anyway. I share it in there too. It's an on-off switch, right? The 25 message limit inside of GPT-4. And the way you can abuse that is if you know that, you maybe have some brainstorming session where you want to use GPT-4 at, let's say, 1 p.m., then at like 10:30 a.m., you're just going to go ahead and send one message to GPT-4. And then at 1 p.m., 2.5 hours later, you're going to have a 30-minute window to use 24 messages. And then the window resets. Because like if you send one message, a 3-hour timer starts. And no matter how many messages you use, you have only 25 available. But once that ends, you're going to be able to run 25 more. So really, it's going to give you 49 messages and like even a 30-minute, in a 3.5 hour window. It's better than it's twice what you would basically usually get. And often it makes the difference between, if you're doing like intensive brainstorming sessions, you kind of need more than 25 prompts in my experience, but you don't need like 100. So kind of like that does the trick. If you have like 30, 40, you're kind of set. And you're also confident that you can mess up a few times and rerun it, With 25, it's kind of like, it's borderline okay. So there you go. That's a little trick for you there. Let's see. API, but of course, yeah. Almost nobody has GPT-4 API. Yeah, that's Auto GPT is really. I found it to be really useful with the GPT-4 API. It's okay with 3.5. It's more like experimental. With 4, it's powerful. Hey man, good to have you here, Remy. Feed the family. This guy's going axe throwing throughout the weekend. Enjoy that. So yeah, that's amazing. Congrats on the course release. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. It's finally done. I could, like, honestly, my poor surroundings. Yeah, it's just been like complete neglect and full focus on the course since like 1.5, 2 months doing nothing else. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if GPT-4 is answering a prompt and you stop it mid-answer, does it count as a message? Yes, it does. If you say continue, if you follow up with like continue or keep going, that's another message. Yes. Ciao, Remy. All right. What's AutoGPT? It's a GitHub repository that allows you to link your GPT, ChatGPT or GPT-4 API to a version of it that kind of prompts itself. So you just set a goal and then it kind of like talks to itself in 2 instances of itself. You can engage these things that you would call agents, and then these agents cooperate to achieve your goals. That is AutoGPT. You need some very basic Python knowledge for that. And if I wouldn't be in full like hardcore production and creation mode throughout the last 2 weeks, well, it released 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so it was inside of the window where I was kind of like laser focused on course production. So if it wasn't for the course, I would have covered it more. I just played with it briefly, and I think I'm gonna create. I have some great ideas for content already, but now it's time. I also have been streaming, as you might have seen. It's done. It's out. I'm gonna keep adding to it, but you know, it's 32 videos. I'm gonna add, you know, maybe another 2 videos over the next month. That's nothing compared to producing 32. So yeah, I'm back essentially, you know, on YouTube. Is there a video on how to create a course using AI? I don't think so, man. Honestly, I wouldn't know how. I would even say, like, although it didn't help much with like the ebook, like it helped with generating these examples, right? But with the course, I'm how did it help me with the course? Let me think. Because really the process was just like kind of first coming up with a curriculum that makes sense and that kind of covers all the ideas. Then there was like 12 versions of the curriculum until I arrived at this final one. And once I had that, I kind of like fleshed out topic by topic. And I always looked at like, I can tell you my process. I always went back from like the result that I would want. And then I try to reverse engineer back from the result on what information do I need to provide to you for you to get that result. So if we're talking about prompt quality, it's like, okay, what do you need to know? What points do we need to talk about urgently for you to understand prompt quality? And then if I had that list of that, I've kind of just collected more sub bullet points, but I didn't even write it out. Like none of the course is scripted. None of it. Yeah, that's accurate. None of it is scripted. Everything is just me free flowing over very carefully prepared bullet points and giving you a brain dump of everything I know about those. And then, you know, they're edited in a quality that you're used to from my YouTube videos. So that's really good to have. We have a nice logo animation. There's subtle music in the background and everything is super well structured. And yeah, that's what I would say about that. So I don't really know about any course creation prompts. Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to figure out how you could totally write a course and script it with ChatGPT, right? But I think it's very obvious if you watch the content that it's non-scripted and that it's kind of like a brain dump. It's kind of like just trying to communicate everything that is inside of my mind surrounding that topic, and it's just, you know, it's just different than like, you know, like reading teleprompter line by line. There's points in that too, but I just found this to be the best approach. Okay. Have you asked it to write a poem about insert whatever culture or skin color, then ask it to write a positive poem about white people? It's crazy. It won't say anything positive about this race. Okay. Yeah, I know there's limitations when it comes to kind of the political correctness of it. I think that is spot on. Okay. Thanks for the clarification on Auto GPT. Never heard of the Calm app. Yeah, it's a meditation app. That's pretty cool. I think I should start using that actually. I used to use what was it called? The other one, Mind. No, the one with the drawn characters. I don't remember. Anyway, is there any further questions surrounding the free ebook, the paid ebook, or the course? Because that's really kind of the big news. Just like me, like releasing all this, updating all this. Is there any questions? I would love to answer them. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap up at this point. Super happy to answer any more questions. But that's really what I wanted to cover. I wanted to show you the new ebook, the PDF format. I wanted to show you how to use it. I wanted to show you what improved and why it was improved. And yeah, that's essentially that. There we go. Is there any more questions? Any more questions? Last chance. Let's see. Also, leave a like. Oh, and goddamn, Sick Shop, thank you for the donation, man. I missed that. I appreciate that so much. I just looked up. I was like, wow. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. And also, one more time. Ah, that was in the beginning. Where was the first one? Check Kronos. I remember. Thank you so much, man. You're a power user. That's good to hear. It's wonderful to have you here, man. This is a place for all levels. How much is the book? This one we looked at is completely free. It's like almost 90 pages. It comes with a free Notion template, completely free. You just have it. All you need to do is, sign up to my email newsletter that is free. And if you want, you can unsub right away. Like, just check it out. Like, I usually send out one email a week, which gives you my favorite app that I discovered that week. It gives you my favorite, like the most significant news article summarized in like a paragraph or two. And it gives you a prompt of the week. And then you sometimes I have sponsors on there. That's it. Like, it's like 4 paragraphs, kind of a best of the AI space. So yeah, that's the newsletter, and I think it's super valuable. If there was it's what I would want if I only had time to read one newsletter a week, and I wanted to kind of move forward and stay up to date in terms of AI. That's my best attempt. So that's my newsletter, and in the welcome email you have a link that brings you to a page where you can download the PDF and the Notion template. That's it, completely free. The ebook has 3 times as much content. There's an update coming within the next week. And the course is out now. That's just going to teach you prompt engineering from the ground up. Let me finally drink this thing. I've been... Wonderful. So I think that's really it. That's really the new lineup. How did you build your website? With WordPress. We're starting a migration. Short and valuable newsletter. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. That's the goal. Short and value packed. The website, it's built on WordPress. It's built with a no-code plugin. And I plan on migrating the entire old website, like what you see with the newsletter sign up, to the new site. We're working on it, small team, step by step. Again, the course is out. It's the proudest thing. It's the biggest thing I put out. It's my best attempt at teaching you everything I know about ChatGPT. You can find it under aiadvantagecourse.com. Again, aiadvantagecourse.com. And that's essentially it. Sign up to the newsletter, get the free version, get the course if you like. There's a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't enjoy it, if it doesn't fulfill your expectations, and you actually watch the videos, which we can see inside the platform. That's the only thing I ask. Actually just watch the videos, and if it doesn't fulfill your expectations and you're and you don't like it, full 100% money back guarantee. And yeah, that's it. I stand behind it with everything I have and everything I am. And also the advanced chapter in the course is important. Right now it has an intro video and 2 videos. And I plan to extend that to a total of 10. That is my promise to you. There's going to be 10 advanced videos in that chapter by the end of the year. So as things develop and as significant things come up and I discover new advanced use cases, or other people want to bring their advanced knowledge to our community, the course members are going to get that. So yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be updating it over time, just like I'm with the ebook. And thank you so much for joining the live stream. This has been a blast. We're going to start doing this more often. Actually, this is what I enjoy the most, to be honest, just like hanging out with you guys. And yeah, I think I'll just have to hit this button one more time and we'll end the stream. Have you tried Agent GPT? Yes, I have. I actually have a 2-minute tutorial on it. You can check it out on my channel. That is, if you want to get into Auto GPT, I would recommend you try Agent GPT first. Yeah, I'll say that. You've been recommending it to many friends who need to learn about AI. Thank you so much, Brian. That is much appreciated. Yeah, I'm doing just my very best to share everything. I think of myself as the Christopher Columbus of AI. I just go out there and kind of like discover things that are of value, and then I come back here and, you know, I'm a video creator at heart. And I just go ahead and present it to you and package it to you in a way that is easily consumable. That's the mission. And then I hope to, you know, help as many people transition into this new economy. All the, you know, all the products, all the YouTube videos, all the newsletters, everything is just my best attempt at doing that. So thank you so much. See you soon. And we'll be doing more live streams. There's going to be, I think this week, maybe just one more video, but because I'm so drained and I need like a day off. Expect the ebook update. That's kind of the last thing I want to get out there. And yeah, if if it's the right fit, I can only recommend the course. If you have any questions, you can always reach me in my email, and I'll see you very soon. I think Monday, we'll pick up the Monday streams again. So, you know, at the very latest then, but I think we'll do more. Thank you so much. Have a great day.